Hello guys, Hasrat is here. I want to give a quick introduction about myself, who I am. So, I'm Hasrat, one of the junior doctors working in NHS in UK, and I used to live in Turkey for 26 years. And I want to talk about how it feels being Kurdish, living in Turkey that long. So, the nation who had cultural assimilation more than any nation, I believe, is Kurdish, and one of them, it's me. So, how it feels? Basically, you born as a Kurdish and you raised as a Turkish, right? It's a saying because when you born, your parents are Kurdish, so you speak Kurdish in the family. It's completely different language. It's of course, all languages have similar words, right? So it's like Persian, Arabic, kind of Turkish, French, so from different languages. As all languages interact with each other over the million billion years. But it's completely different from Turkish, I can say that. But it's quite similar to Persian, Iranian language, and Arab, I can't say it's similar to Arabic language. Anyway, so basically, you born as a Kurdish kid in a Kurdish family and you speak your own language there. It doesn't matter if you're from Turkey, Iran, Iraq, or Syria, if you're in a Kurdish family. But I will talk about the Turkey part because I'm from there. So what you see is the Kurdish culture, Kurdish language, Kurdish food. Then you are 6, 7 and they start to send you to school. And what I see is in school, education language is Turkish because you are in Turkey. So when you start to go to take education, which shouldn't be only one language, they should, I believe, they should encourage you to know about languages, different cultures. However, it's not like that. So basically, one language is Turkish. And you start to learn a new language, and when you go back home, so in my case, home different language, school different language. If you're from village and everyone speak Kurdish, so basically you speak Kurdish with your friends because this is the main language you can express yourself. You're only 6, 7 and you know one language. Then when you start to go school, you learn the second language basically, and from there, like, you start to speak with teachers and your languages become to be a Turkish with other students and friends. So change is going to start, and you see other people speak Turkish, and it's kind of for you, it's foreign language. And I think human being, as a human being, we love foreign language. When we learn foreign language, we feel like more fancy because you know more languages, which is understandable because you know second language, and it's kind of fancy, isn't it? Then, yeah, in the school you learn Turkish, you see Turkish culture. The history they teach you in the book is their history, it's not your history, basically, because nobody's going to put them in a bad position in history, right? It's all around the world, like every country in history book, uh, they tell you how successful they are, the war they won, how gentle they were, blah blah blah. So nobody's going to criticize or mention bad things about their nation anyway. So in school we have been taught about this stuff. uh then, okay, primary school, high school, then college. uh they called it level A here. Before college, level A is like, after level A, college. So everything is like in Turkish, right? But some colleges they have like English language, so you can study in English. However, Kurdish is not allowed to speak in education, and so this is the main problem, I think, because mm, it should be like at least second language. Just put in education second language, so in that way you are not going to lose the another culture. You are not going to lose the another language, which is kind of, it's culturally you are rich. Why you are trying to, you know, just lose such stuff, right? It doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, it's not just that. because a person, if they lose their culture, if a culture erosion happen, they'll basically they forget where they came from, right? So I think I'm most assimilated person here, uh, because after some time you completely forget your culture and languages. You don't practice that much because everyone start to speak the second one, and you kind of feel like you are not close to your culture anymore, and there's a distance between that. And people integrate that like their master race, or they have superior complex, and they try to tell you we are the master race, and if you become like us then you will be master race. So they inject those ideas. So unconsciously you feel like, oh, you need to know their culture, you need to know their languages, and you will be a different person, like getting high level kind of, which is completely wrong. Because wherever culture you came, have their own beauties, right? And it's better to protect them. Also, it's better to respect other cultures and keep all of them together. Anyway, it's kind of cultural erosion happened to me. So I was like been lost between these two culture basically. They're not like huge difference, but there are really big differences as well. So like food are like similar, not all of them, but similar as I say. It's like Middle Eastern food. Language is completely different. Culture wise, what is culture? It's like the way you are doing your wedding, the way you are dressing up, the way you are thinking. All of them are culture. It's not just one thing, right? So they're not completely different because you are in the same land, and even it's different country like Iran. It's like in the same land, and just there's a border. So there's no huge difference. However, so the culture is like umbrella, and there's so many things inside it. So when you tell the person, oh, your culture is like that, you need to learn our culture, you need to learn our languages, those people start to forget their culture, and they forget where they came from, and they start to forget their languages, they start to forget their values, and they just learn other people's values, other people's history, other people's habits. So it's kind of you change, and you're just being lost between those things because you came from something else and you become something else. Um, so in that stage, you need to be aware where you come and which one is more suitable for you, right? So, yeah. So basically, you born as a Kurdish, then you became Turkish. You see everything is Turkish around you. All social media or news, it's whatever happened in Turkey, they like mention this as a Turkish thing. But as you know, also I can say Turkey is a multicultural, multinationalities lives in Turkey. So there are local Arabs, not immigrants. There are Kurdish people. They are Assyrian, not Syrian, Assyrian. They are local people, lives in southeast of Turkey, and there are Turkish people. So it's kind of there are so many nationalities in this country, um, and I think each of them just lost their culture and they forget where they come from, and they learn someone else's history, basically. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So how it feels like? I can't say so. We have TV, right? Like television, and every house has television, and you love to watch movies, series, whatever with your family. I do remember, like I was in primary school and high school. So when we watched TV, no, I completely remember in that series they were like putting Kurdish people in the bad position. They show them as a terrorist. It's me. I'm watching the series, and you're telling me your people, your nationality is terrorist. And we are just watching as nothing happened. Normal, yeah. Those people they show in the TV, it's not us, it's not our people, because your mentality is like that. You the way you are thinking is like that. And so the mentality is because you become foreigner to your culture, and when you see this TV series, those people, you thought, oh, those people are, yeah, bad people, and you don't feel like it's you and it's your people, and they just put them in a bad position. That's the way to do cultural erosion, I believe, and that's the way to control people and let them forget where they came from, what's their people, what's their culture and language. So imagine, I'm 7, 8 years old, watching those movies because my family is watching. They need to be aware, they need to be a little bit educated, and they need to be a little bit aware about external environments, right? And they need to protect your kids, like they need to give the idea of what is languages is, what culture is, what's the difference between them, blah blah blah. So if parents are ignorant, and they will of course watch this series with the kids, and the kid will be like, okay, my mom, my dad watch this stuff, so it seems like it's right, and those people in the series is not my people, it's someone else. You feel in that way. It's weird, isn't it? Then yeah, you become like, oh yeah, those people in the movie, they are bad and they do bad things. They steal, they're terrorists, they put all countries, and they do bad things basically. And you start to think like, okay, I need to accept whatever I have. And then with that series language, so you completely forget your culture, and you completely forget who you are, and you become someone else. Uh, then you're 17, 18, teenager age, you start to question life and everything. If you read a book, then you will find out. You need to read like different languages in different languages and in different countries' history, so you can be a little bit more objective. Yeah. Everyone approach the history in different way, right? Some of them criticize, some of them no. So you should read history books in different from different nationalities to see what was the right, exactly what happened, kind of thing. So yeah, I feel bad because kind of I forget my language because you don't practice this language anymore, and you feel like it's not your culture, which is not normal. It's your culture, it's the where you came from. Then let's talk about the college, like what happened. Like first of all, in Turkey, people don't accept there's other nations. They just say if you're from Turkey, you're only one nationality because of your passport. Uh, I don't know what kind of approach is it, but so it's a, it's a global world. Like people move other countries, they are refugees, they are immigrants, or they just go for work, and people have different passports. It doesn't mean it's their nationality. Either they got this passport or either they born in that country, but it doesn't mean it's their nationality. Whatever written in the passport, it doesn't matter. And people just say this one. I don't want to continue the conversation because it's completely meaningless. You don't have to, because if you are in that age, if you didn't read anything, and if you are not aware, passport doesn't mean it's your nationality, then you need to read more maybe, or you need to just, yeah, I don't prefer to hang out with those people basically. They look like so simple people. So yeah, I prefer to put some distance. No, so right now in Turkey, they are not such a serious because people are wake up kind of, and they say like, what kind of movie series are they? They just put us in a bad position. Like I'm born here, I'm belong in this country. You shouldn't show me you shouldn't look at me in a bad aspect, right? So you need to respect my language, you need to respect my culture, you need to accept I born in that country and we share the same land. I don't have my own country. Whatever happened in the history, it didn't happen. So you need to accept me as I am. I live in your country. The ruler is yours, but you need to respect my language. You need to, yeah, you should be more like respectful. Except it's a multicultural country, multinationalities, and yeah, you need to adjust your educational system accordingly. You can put second languages. It's not going to harm you. It will be like beneficial actually. Imagine people knows two language in your country and they're going to learn the third one, fourth one. That's amazing thing. You need to be proud of yourself. However, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. They just kind of there's a pressure, external pressure, and people can't express themselves easily because of this pressure. And nobody wants trouble, so they just accept whatever they have. So you go school, you learn their language, culture, and which is fine. You can learn someone's language and culture, but you feel like it's you and it's changed you. And the core inside you, the core of your nation, kind of disappeared. So yeah, I feel like mine is gone anyway. But some people protect it. They protect very well. They don't lose this connection. They put effort to improve their languages, practicing. But in my case, unfortunately, it's kind of gone. Um, yeah, I think maybe it's me because I was like, okay, I'm not practicing. It's not going to help me. So instead of that, let's learn English and see what word help. Um, but yeah, so people in Turkey is a little bit close-minded, so they don't respect or they don't accept as you are. So they just prefer to change you, or they just label you. They put etiquette on you and said, okay, this is you. So it's not easy to change a society. But changing, like being open to change is a big thing. Not everyone is ready for that. Even like I know so many people, medical graduates, doctors, engineers, some engineers. I know people, they are not that open minded. They are completely closed to your nation and they accept other nations. When they move abroad, they are okay. Like when they move UK, they are okay with Irish, Welsh, Scottish, English. They know they are different nationality. They don't mix them up. But in their country, I don't know whatever happened to them. They don't accept their other nation in Turkey, and they just say everyone lives here. They have Turkey passports, so they should be Turkish. It doesn't work like that. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is like my personal ideas. Definitely, I'm not trying to give, give you and tell you all those ideas are all correct. That's how I feel and just expression of myself basically. Thank you for listening. Keep in touch. Bye.